Okay, y'all. So seeing how this is a crime story time channel, and truthfully, at first I tried to hide it because I didn't want people to crack down. But truthfully, there's not enough evidence tied to any of these stories except for me flipping my car. But truthfully, if people haven't gone after me at this point, they just look like a fool if they did. And even if they do, I like being ballsy, to be honest. And I'm truthfully not proud of what I did, but I'm not gonna hide it, and I'm not gonna sit there and act like it didn't happen. And truthfully, I think it is pretty legendary. I think people are fucking ridiculous that they don't want to do wild shit. But at the same time, I don't condone it, okay? Me, I'm impulsive. But and another thing is, if you're a lawyer or an attorney watching this video, I'm telling you right now, this is never gonna happen again. Because as much as I say I'm not gonna get caught, which I've gotten away with about 3/4 of the things that I've done, but about a fourth I've gotten caught with. And so there's always a chance that you'll get caught is basically what I'm trying to say. And it's never good to do bad things, like I'm at a point where I don't want to do that shit anymore. I don't want to have the reputation of being called a dirty raccoon, fucking assholes, I had a bit of an impulsive personality, and I have a tiny bit of a stutter, which is getting a lot better. I've been talking a lot better recently, which I'm just absolutely loving. So you can fuck right off. But basically, the moral of the story is don't do drugs, okay? If anything, smoke weed. Smoke weed. Fuck nicotine. Even like as much as I love alcohol, fuck alcohol. Also, I just saw I follow this news reporting app, and I seen that they're trying to crack down on DWIs in Genesee County. And I just want to say that this goes out to my friends. If you watch my videos, I am not, and I repeat, not smoking in the car. If I'm smoking, it's in a controlled environment, okay? I will not smoke anywhere unless it's inside a house or an apartment or an enclosed space, or if we're walking around. I am not smoking weed in my car anymore. And I don't want any fucking drugs in my car, okay? Like, if you're a drug dealer, don't be hitting me up for rides unless I really trust you. There's a couple drug dealers I really trust, but some of y'all are acting too stupid for me to have in my fucking car, all right? I'm done associating with very bad people. I only want to associate with people who are going to try and advance my life. Because here's another thing. If you get a lot of money, if you start working a job, because I had Social Security because I was diagnosed with mental disorders because I'm a bit hyperactive and all that fucking bullshit. And fuck you too. I see you guys lurking on my channel. Fuck off. Just fuck right off. Okay? Fuck right off with that mental illness shit. I've been given wonderful gifts. I am a very talented individual. I don't need your fucking crap. Alright? But what I want to say is when you get money, people will come around. Truthfully, I'm not trying to condone this either, because it amazes me how these celebrities get all these followers. Because truthfully, no matter who you are, there comes a point where you have to start shutting people out of your life. And I had to learn that the hard way. When I started getting really popular, to the point where I was getting 300 views on my Snap story, all these people want to hang out, and I thought there was something wrong with me because I didn't want to hang out with every single one of them. But I just want to say to you guys, don't feel obligated to hang out with somebody just because you want to be an influencer, quote unquote. Being an influencer is not about that, which is what I thought it was at first, just being able to vibe around everyone. But it's not, okay? You don't have to fucking like everyone you come across. And you also don't have to, contrary to what a lot of guys might think. Oh, this is fucking deer right there. But contrary to what a lot of guys might think, there you go, there's some content for you guys. I really don't think it's that cool to be a gangster, yeah, they get all these hoes, but who wants hoes? Who if you want the reputation of being a player, then you're a fucking piece of shit, and you're not straight at all, in my fucking opinion. And that's why I love social media too, because you can get things out. Because some of the things I've said, I guarantee I'd get shot for. Even just the 4 I have tattooed on my leg, which is not anything to do with the fucking ABK. It's to do with the big 4s, the fucking Megadeth, Metallica, Slayer, and fucking Anthrax. And then you can throw other bands in there like Pantera. But you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous, yo. It's fucking ridiculous. And I despise labels. I despise today's society. And, y'all can flip me off, but, if you're a good person, then there's no reason to get mad because I'll be able to vibe with you. That automatically means to me, if you're flipping me off, what that means to me is that you don't like my vibe and you have a problem, because I truthfully believe I'm one of the straightest people. I've only had sex inside of relationships. I've only dated and never cheated once. Not fucking once. Okay? And I like that reputation. I like the reputation of not being a fucking man whore. And letting thirsty hoes be thirsty. I'm too straight for this fucking crap. And I guarantee there probably will come a day where I will end up just doing it just to do it. But I don't want to do it and just leave. Like, I still want to have at least a connection with the person. I still want to be friends with them afterwards. A lot of you guys are fucking pigs, and I get why some women say fuck men, because some of you guys are fucking gross. But this is beyond the point. My point is, and I'm going to timestamp it too, to this time exactly, right here. Don't drink and drive. Don't smoke and drive. Don't do drugs. Like I said, if anything, smoke weed. Don't do nicotine, none of it. Keep it straight. Excuse me, I have hiccups. Keep it straight, because those things do nothing for you in life. You might think being a UK drill rapper, is fucking cool, and those guys are cool, that they made a success out of doing that stuff. But the fact is, 99% of people don't make a success out of that lifestyle. And I don't want to be known for that. I'm not going to hide the things I did in the past, because I still am a pretty cool dude, and I've done some pretty ballsy things, and I still am ballsy and always will be. I'll always be outside. You'll catch me outside. And that's why, I feel like one day I'm just going to get a bullet to the back of the skull. So I get everything out there while I can. They say live on the edge, but live while you can. Yeah. And that's the thing. And I'm cool, okay? But I hate that just because I condone something or that I do something, that everybody else feels the fucking need to do it. Like, just because I'm rad and cool and like fire and flames and heavy metal, and I've done all this cool, rad, awesome shit, does not mean that I want other people to dress like that. And if you want to dress like that, that's fine, but don't feel like you need to change yourself to be able to vibe around me. I hang around all types of people. If you accept me, I'll hang around a dude with short hair and short blonde hair, like one of those tan dudes, a stereotypical fucking Chad. Like they say, don't date a fucking Chad, get yourself a goddamn Vlad. But you understand what I'm saying. It's so fucking ridiculous, yo. So fucking ridiculous. So just getting that out there. Do good with your lives, okay? And so will I. And that's the thing. If you guys do good with your lives, and so the fuck will I. And even if you don't, I'll still keep doing good. But I really don't want to see people do bad stuff anymore. And I don't want to see people fighting either. Please stop. Please fucking stop. Amen. Hail Satan. Who knows? And that's the thing. Just don't take drugs, because you'll never be able to come back from that shit. I still truthfully, I know I said goodbye, but I'm going to keep going. I truthfully, upon taking that much ecstasy, that much Molly, been smoking weed since I was 10 years old, and been on Ritalin since I was 8, I'm tripped the fuck out. So, and you fucking parents, stop medicating your fucking children. Cut it the fuck out. Stop. There's a woman that watches my fucking social media, and she was watching it for so long, and she was like, shocked and appalled, and he needs to be medicated. There's something wrong with him just because I was a little impulsive, because I made some mistakes. Yeah, I flipped my car over, but don't we all have to do a bunch of wild shit while we're young until we learn? Like, fuck that shit, dude. God damn it. And I do think the court system can be unfair. New York State just released a new law which says that first offenders can get pardoned, which I think if you're charged for a crime, I think the first time you should be pardoned, because it's fucking ridiculous, yo. It's fucking ridiculous. And I think that's what's happened to me, because this is, funny enough, this is the first thing I've ever been charged for. And all that stuff in the past, I mean, you'd say it's foolish for me to bring up, but they can't say anything about that. And I guarantee by the time this channel even ever reaches popularity, it'll be, because like my hope is that my band will start getting popular, and then so will my channel about 7 years from now, when the statute of limitations is gone, you know, from all this stuff, because that way I can keep these up, and that way they can't do shit about it. Because I'm not getting rid of these fucking videos. I don't care. So yeah. But basically, yeah, thank you guys for listening to my rants. But please just do good with your lives. Because, again, I thought I was so cool hanging out with all these gang members. But when I had that $6,000 security check, because I mentioned I had a mental illness, and I had actually just realized that I had branched off of that before I finished that topic. But when I had gotten that security check, because Social Security had been holding money from me for about 2 years, because basically I had a mental illness, quote unquote, a mental illness, and so I was getting money from the government monthly, and eventually over 2 years it totaled to $6,000, and it got deposited into my bank. And basically, these gang members wanted to hang out with me until I didn't have the money. As soon as I flipped my car, as soon as I didn't have the money, they were all fucking gone. Every single one of them. These people do not give a fuck about you. And that's why I get so mad when people like flip me off and call me a bitch. It's like, no, I've been through a lot of shit. I have a lot of trauma, and I have a lot of trust issues at first, okay? So fuck you. You know, if you support me and you love me, then I fucking love you too. But if you don't like who I am, you can piss off. I do not care. I will leave this earth a cold motherfucker, okay? Because I didn't start none of this shit. On social media, I was just me. And some people grew to like it, and some people grew to hate it. But I'm just addressing the haters, okay? If you don't fucking like what I do, then too bad, because I am not a bad guy. You know what I mean? And it pisses me off, because people even hated Phil Anselmo just because he made This Love song. Like, just because the man's is a rock star. The man's is just trying to be in his own cocoon. Can you fucking leave us alone? Can you stop being so mean? Fuck off, dude. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. I guess you can call this part 2 to the story, because truthfully, the whole story is basically out there now based on that 20-minute video I released about a week or two ago, and all of the other crazy things that I've done. You know, and I've done good things too. I mean, I did a lot of good things. I've helped a lot of people. A lot of the things that I did on my channel were passive aggressive as fuck. You could say, oh, Shane, you're evil, you hurt people. I barely hurt anyone. Most of those stories were smoking and drug doing stories. I wasn't hurting anybody but myself. I think the only thing I did was light that fire at my aunt's house, which was not the best. But again, I didn't have ill intentions in mind. I wasn't trying to burn the barn down. The can had caught on fire. And once a can of gas catches on fire, you're fucked. You know? I didn't mean it, okay? I'm a good guy. I'm a good fucking person. You know, just I made some mistakes, and I've learned from it is the important part. I'm working on getting a job now. I'm already doing landscaping, which is not all around the clock, but it's gonna feel good for me to get out there and get a 9 to 5 and contribute to society, and also make my own money. I can't wait to get my own place and vibe with my close friends, man. Son of a bitch, it's gonna be epic. I might as well make this fucking 20 minutes as well. So, because I know I said this is half of the story, or part 1 of the story, in the previous rant, but this is basically it. This is my true opinion. You know, I really am not that fucking bad, dude. And people build me up to be this goddamn monster for what? Just because I like scary things. I'm not psychotic. I'm not a fucking killer. I mean, if you bag me in a corner, you know, I'll fight for my life. I'll fight tooth and nail for my life. That's what me and my dad have in common. You know, I will fight for it. But I'm also ballsy. I mean, I'm a bad bitch. You know, as much as the word bitch applies to women usually, but I think labels are stupid. I think it can apply to men, which is why I just called myself that. But yeah, no, I think everything in today's society is so fucking ridiculous. And I get why things are so sensitive, because there's too many people on the planet. Just because one person, you know, is such a god, aka me, you know, not everybody else is going to behave that way, and it's never going to be like that. I mean, truthfully, I think the society will just continue to get worse as more shootings happen and more instability and more just everything, bro. And you know what the worst part of it? It's not even just the drugs I took, but it's when I took them. I mean, I took drugs at a time where my entire family had dumped me off onto the streets just because they thought that I wasn't the best. Like, I had been going out during COVID to get stoned, which wasn't the best, but they still didn't love me enough to keep me around, you know. They didn't give a shit. I mean, they did for a while, so I guess you can say that I'm a bad person, but I'm really not. I just made a lot of mistakes and people misjudged me for them, you know. Don't judge a book by its cover. And just because I swear too, you know, for the rest of my life, I will be abrasive. And truthfully, I don't think my music's ever going to become famous, but it's to a point where I don't care about fame anymore. All I want is to get the voice out there and make the music. I don't give a fuck about playing live. I've always told myself, if it got famous, I would step up to the plate and I would play live and I would vibe with the fans. But I don't care if it gets famous. I just want to make the music and me enjoy it and a few of my friends enjoy it, and that's it. And have it out there, you know. I don't need to be nothing big and fancy, you know. I don't need to have no blue check mark to feel special or to feel more secure about leaving this earth in the next 60 years. I'll be okay if it's just me and myself and my employers. I'll be all right, you know. Which some of you are needy as fuck. Stop being needy. Being cold is the new trend, and whether you think it's good or not, for some people it works, for some people it doesn't. But fuck off. Don't flip me off for that shit. And I know I sound delusional, but for me it makes sense, you know. You have to be cold at a certain point, because then people are going to think you just want their attention. You know, people are going to think that you're a simp for them and that you're their slave and that you're their dependent, you know, or whatever, you know. And then people have money. I mean, I've seen even people like Luna, the Storytime YouTube channel, you know. I mean, he said that too. I mean, so many people have fucked with him. Like, all people will do is fuck with you, you know. That's what I've told myself. I don't care who comes and goes. And it's to a point where I literally do not care who comes and goes. It's to a point where I don't text first anymore. And I leave a lot of people undelivered, to be honest, and read, because I just... And it's not about being fake. It's that these people don't want anything but to use you. You know, they're just going to end up leaving at some point. I guess they say family is forever, but you know what the fuck is forever? You. That's the message I'm trying to get across. You are the fuck forever, okay? And nobody else. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. You only need yourself, your employers, and maybe some family and some close friends if they're real to you. Like, I have a best friend, and I'll just call him Cedric, because I can actually say his name right now because I haven't implicated his alias in any of the things I've said in this video. But Cedric, you know who you are, buddy, man. You're my best friend, okay? My best friend. And I would never, like, this kid, I truly feel a bond with this kid. Because ever since I moved to the town of Leroy in 6th grade, which I'm going to end this at 20 minutes, this kid has been by my side ever since. You know, the realest motherfucker. And you can call me fake, but it's not fake anymore. It's to a point where this is too trippy, you know. And I'm not gonna be the pushover for one. I'm not gonna be the one who constantly gives my energy out and doesn't get any of it in return. I'm not gonna be that person anymore. You know what? Yes, the fuck I have changed. I have changed a lot. You know, but I'll make it. As Phil and someone says, whore, I'll make it. Because I fucking will. I'll fucking make it. I don't need shit. And I think that's what's going to help me succeed, if I even succeed at all. But like I said, I don't care about that. I just want to work a regular job until this eventually becomes popular or doesn't. Either way, I just want the fucking music out there. I want to make my heavy, scary, aggressive, fucking dark metal music. And that's all I want to do. That's all I want to do, and get stoned and work a job and come home at the end of the day and fuck around by myself and maybe eventually get a nice wife. Peace, guys. Holy fuck. 20 minutes. Boom.